It's me mentally counting down those 10 seconds to make absolutely certain that this thing picks up the first parts of what I'm saying as opposed to cutting it off like it usually does. Welcome, folks, to the Battlefront Livestream podcast, for lack of a better name. I should probably come up with something, but I am not sure that I care enough. It's basically just a chance to wax philosophical on Star Wars news, Star Wars topics, sometimes with guests, as with last time with Michael Morris from Cloud City Casino. So, yeah, this time I'm going to be focusing on any questions that may come up in the chat and some recent Star Wars gaming news. I am, of course, your host, Nathan P. Butler. You can find my Star Wars Timeline Gold, the most comprehensive Star Wars chronology document available anywhere, over at StarWarsFanWorks.com/timeline. The two podcasts I'm currently involved with, Star Wars Beyond the Films, which is about legends and canon, books, comics, video games, and so forth, and Cloud City Casino, which involves video games and a little bit of collecting, over at StarWarsReport.com. That's Star Wars Beyond the Films with me and Mark Hurleman, and Cloud City Casino with me and Michael Morris, who you heard on the last two-part stream. Two parts accidentally, because I got caught in loading hell, and it took a while to be able to actually get everything back. I kept getting that preparing warning. For what it's worth, if you're streaming on a PlayStation 4, and up where it says elapsed time, when you try to start streaming, it keeps saying preparing, kill the internet connection on the system, reset the internet connection on the system, and you're good to go, pretty much. Apparently some kind of DNS error thing. But it did work itself out. So a quick check here to see where I stand on my HUT contracts. I need one more blaster pistol streak. I'm amazed that I got 2 already. And 15 kills with the scout pistol, so I probably ought to put that into my hand. And then I'm slowly working up more credits, because the 3 HUT contracts that are left each cost $8 grand in terms of credits. And again, I do think that the HUT contracts are kind of bullshit, because again, it's kind of like if I go to, and I've used this example before, if I go to McDonald's, I'm constantly paying money and getting my meal. Pay money, get meal. Pay money, get meal. Which is basically what all of these have been. Pay money, get meal. Pay money, get meal. Pay money, upgrade meal. Like supersizing your meal, right? So I've been doing that all along. I'll go ahead and stick the scout pistol into my hand there. But I've been doing that all along, right? I pay the credits, I get the star card, or I upgrade the star card. Whereas if I'm doing a HUT contract, it's more like I'm paying for the privilege of being able to work to get whatever it is. So it's kind of like, welcome to McDonald's. Oh, you'd like that McRib meal? McRib's nasty, by the way. You'd like that McRib meal? Well, you could just buy a hamburger meal, but if you want the McRib meal, you're going to pay us the money, then you're going to go clean out the bathroom, and when you come back, then we'll give you the freaking McRib. It feels like instead of working for something and getting it, or paying for something and getting it, you're having to do both, and you're paying for the privilege of working, which is kind of bullshit. But at least it's something else to do. So let's jump in here. It doesn't really matter. I'll just jump into Outer Rim here. Basically, I can do anything but Fighter Squadron. Fighter Squadron, the delay, the lag, and such that happens when I'm trying to stream and play an online game will cause it to jerk a lot, and that's an issue. For what it's worth, when I do, it does look like my wife and I are getting that house. Crossing fingers. We've got about 2 to 3 weeks before we close on it. And once that happens, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to set up which room it's in or anything like that, but I'll still have the streaming set up in some form or another. And our plan for right now is to get rid of our landline and use the money we save from that to up the internet speed one more step. Because at the time that I signed up for this, this was the fastest AT&T Uverse could allow, or you could purchase through them, and now they've bumped it up, I think, one more level. So we'll see. Speaking of which, and this might be something that if you're watching this broadcast and you're used to watching my vlog or from the Star Wars home video library and such, you know that recently my background has been my Star Wars home videos, because I record this in a different room. Part of the plan is to set up a Star Wars room at the new house. Well, that's lovely and all, with the exception see, a little bit of lag. The room's back area, or back wall, is about 10 feet, give or take. I've got 9 feet worth of Star Wars bookshelves in terms of width, about 5 or 6 shelves each, about 9 foot width of nothing but Star Wars books. And then I've got those Star Wars home video shelves, and the home video shelves run about 4 to 5 feet. Hello, Cypher. So now we're trying to basically figure out what's going to go along that back wall. And if I have to choose between one room having the Star Wars bookshelves and being kind of an office / Star Wars room, and then the other shelves having to go somewhere like along the walls in one of the large, like the big old master bedroom walls or something, which would make the best backdrop for the vlog and from the Star Wars home video library. Obviously, it makes sense for the home video library thing to have the home videos behind it, but would it make a difference? You know, would it be an issue? Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. For those who don't know, in case you're reading the chat, Liam is somewhat of a recent regular to the streams and whatnot here. Kaboom! Ah, I hear you. With the Deadpool thing. Deadpool, by the way, hilarious. I would not let my kids see it if I had kids until they were probably teenagers, but holy crap, that was funny. Excuse me. Alright. So, for what it's worth, I'm working on the HUT contract here. So we got some news, and I'll get into a little bit of what the news is. Michael and I, at about this time tomorrow night, probably more like 5:30 Eastern, are going to be sitting down to record the next episode of Cloud City Casino. And among the news topics are some of the ones that I'm going to mention here, but hopefully it'll be still amusing to those who watch this and listen to that, because in that case, there'll be 2 of us. I guess it would help if I played the objective at least a little here. But I just want my blaster pistol streak, dang it! Oh, oh, oh! Sorry! Thankfully, people respawn fast enough that me doing that like a dick is probably not going to piss anybody off. Okay. Come on. Oh, oh, shield. Mine! Or I will help you not. Here we go again. I gotta get all the different kills with the stupid scout pistol, which is not my favorite weapon, but whatever. It keeps doing that, too. I keep getting the trait level thing changing while I'm in the middle of it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And no, he's not saying that to me. He's saying that about Deadpool. Yeah. My wife had seen it and was like, eh. But I just love it. Yeah, I didn't switch out my thing, so I didn't get the hero. Yeah, she saw it. She thought it was all right. I thought it was hilarious. But then again, there's a 9-year age difference between us. And my thought would be that a lot of the jokes in it lean more towards my generation and the generation of like the 1990s Deadpool, like X-Force era comics and stuff. So, damn. Although I did find it funny, you know, the angel. There you go, got that part done. The whole Angel of the Morning thing, because I don't know what the actual words are. So we were joking around that it's you know, just call me Angel of the Morning, baby. Just touch my tits when I'm in heat, baby. I'm pretty sure that's not what the words are. I just thought, you know, if you don't know what the words are, sing something funny. Alrighty then. So, the news. And feel free to pop, you know, questions or whatever into the chat, and I'll try to answer. But for lack of that just yet, Ninum, kill me! Gotta laugh like that. Where is he going? And why do I keep starting up here? Because that jackass keeps, like, jumping up to the top. Why? Whatever, Boba. Whatever, Boba. Alright, here we go. But yeah, so we have some news. So Disney Infinity is done. Disney Interactive Studios has decided they are no longer going to do any kind of... Stop shooting, assholes! They decided they're going to stop any kind of actual development of games on their own, and they're just going to be doing publishing, kind of like what LucasArts labels, their label wound up being. Which means that they are, among other things, closing Avalanche Studios, which is the studio that makes Disney Infinity. So Disney Infinity is over. They've got, well, pretty much, as far as Star Wars material, they're over. You've got a a new release coming out in May, a new release coming out in June, or that it was June or July. But in the next couple of months, you have a couple new releases, none of which are Star Wars related. And then Star Wars content is pretty much done, right? We've got everything. Marvel content seems like it's pretty much done. So Marvel Battlegrounds seems to have been it. That means if you're a collector, hey, it's pretty cool because you're probably going to be able to get stuff fairly cheaply in the near future. The downside to it being that that you're going to basically wind up with you know, as soon as they turn off the servers, a big part of what makes that game so different, the online content that people create would be gone. So goodness only knows how long, if at all, that's going to last. So if you want to pick up the figures, it's a good time to pick them up. You'll probably be able to get them at a discount. That does mean, by the way, that we have probably seen the last of my A Guide to Disney Infinity for Star Wars fans videos, because there's just no new content and no new figures apparently being released for us to cover. So, any new work on the timeline goal? I have put in a little bit. I've been able to catch up on pretty much all but the Poe Dameron comics and the newest issue of Darth Vader that was just released today. So those are on there. I'm slowly working my way through building up enough player rating to be able to handle the last mission for this current act of Star Wars Uprising. What the hell? I'm close.
You now have Lord Vader
and once I get to that point, then I'll be going through that game and finishing up my current summary of it, but hasn't really been much on my radar. I've spent what little free time I've had the last couple of days, aside from doing stuff with work. I've been doing... oh, I don't even have the case in here. Shoot, I put it in the other room. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which if you have a PlayStation and you're not playing Uncharted, and if you have a PlayStation 4 and you haven't played all the Uncharted except maybe Golden Abyss, what are you doing? It's one of the greatest, most cinematic shooter series ever. And it's one of the best exclusive franchises for PlayStation that exists. But Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 are available as a Nathan Drake collection on PS4. They were originally released for PlayStation 3. Then you got Golden Abyss, which is available for the PlayStation Vita. And then 4 is exclusive to PlayStation 4. It's like cracking my jaw there. But yeah, no more Disney Infinity, unfortunately. We did also hear that EA has announced that there will be more Battlefront next year. Now, whether that means there will be a lot more content being released for this game, which is unlikely, or if that means it's time to start the yearly iteration kind of crap like Call of Duty does. It sounds like it's going to be a new game. We do have more Battlefront to expect next year, and that it is going to be in relation to not the original trilogy as this one was, but to the new, what they refer to as the new films, because now they've got that as reference material to use. We're also being told that the Visceral Games Star Wars game that has one of the writers from the Uncharted series is going to wind up being released next year. Or sorry, the year after that, the year after next, which would suggest that the most recent one announced under Respawn would be coming in 2019, because they said that over the next 3 years or so, we're going to be seeing a Star Wars video game release, a major Star Wars video game release each year. And the only way that makes sense with what's been announced so far is that particular release order there. Come on. Come on, bitch. There we go. Let's see. So, let's see. Mathagus? Diggraph? So, MD. MD. Hey! Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I didn't play the objective worth a damn, and I still wound up being the top of my team. That's how you know the team sucked. Favorite Star Wars film, MD asks. I would say, like right now, I would say The Force Awakens. I would say if I were to rank them, Given my propensity to like the climactic act that's more action-packed of a given trilogy, I would say that my ranking would go Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, either A New Hope, then Empire, or Empire, then A New Hope, and then Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace, which are also kind of reversible. Reason I say that, and people are always like, oh my god, really? Switch weapons in a second. It's a part of it. The reason why Revenge of the Sith would come there as the third is because of what I refer to as the Stover effect. Reading Matthew Stover's novelization adds so much more context to what's happening with Anakin, like why it's such a big deal he's not a master when he's on the council. It's not because he's a whiny little bitch, although he is. It's because, he thinks that there is information within the Jedi archives that is the only way he's going to be able to save Padme, and only masters have access to that part of the archive. So by not making him a master, they're essentially sentencing Padme to death. Oh, no wonder he's so upset. So there's that. Without it, the ranking would certainly be lower. I've had a lot of people be like, how dare you put The Empire Strikes Back as your least favorite of the original trilogy, or even second favorite out of the original trilogy, depending on my mood on a given day. And the reason is what Mr. Plinkett in the Red Letter Media derided as someone saying Empire is the worst because it's the most boringest one. I really like Empire and what it does for character development. I feel as though most of the Star Wars films prior to The Force Awakens have just these, like, the momentum just dies briefly, and there's sort of a dragging part to each film, where it doesn't feel like the momentum is continuing. And Empire, to me, feels like the film in which that momentum is lost the most, because, granted, they're focusing on character development. But once you already know these characters like crazy and you're just trying to go back and watch them for fun, I think that's where the issues come in. Whew. Some missions. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done missions in ages. The reason I don't tend to do missions is because they don't give you any XP or really much in the way of credits toward anything else. But I've still got some missions to do that I haven't touched yet, those newer ones. I still have to do some of them on, like, the highest difficulty or the second highest without spending a life to get the stars and stuff. So, yeah, that is certainly something that could be... could be figured out in the near future. I said I was going to switch weapons. That's my issue. I'm still running around with that frickin' pistol that I actually didn't want to really use. Let's try not to use the same frickin' gun anymore. Let's change that. There we go. Let's go with... We'll go with the DLT-19. Okay. Anytime, MD. I try to answer all the questions that pop up on the chat when I'm doing one of these. The downside being that sometimes they come so fast that it's hard for me to spot them, so I may, like, catch the question and remember the question to answer and forget who asked it. So, if I forget who asked it, please take no offense. It just may be that I'm trying to memorize them as they go to make sure that I don't miss any. Alright. Running, running, running. What are we playing anyway? We're playing Extraction? Yay, hey, we're playing Extraction! Time for me to actually start paying moderate attention. Okay, so we're here, playing Extraction. Screw that guy. Oh, ducking. Favorite character... See, that's tricky. If I were to go with... And people almost always figure... let's see, and Adios, I just answered the question a moment ago. The Force Awakens. Let's see. So to answer the question about, I don't know where I was going with that. My brain just went. Oh yeah, okay. Favorite character. Favorite character. I would say, if we're talking films only, I'm gonna go with probably actually right now Kylo Ren. I like the complexity psychologically of the character. I was also, if you put, you know, the Stover effect in place and you start thinking of the novelization of Revenge of the Sith also, I would say that my favorite was Anakin, because I really like the idea of the complexity of his fall and the psychology of the character, even if it's not played as well as it probably should have been. You start taking into account legends, and I'm going to go with Ulic Keldroma, because I love his rise and fall and redemption in the Tales of the Jedi comics. I think it's sort of like Anakin's fall and redemption done better. I'm also a fan of Jason Solo once he becomes Darth Kaitis, because I like the subtleties of the political nuances of him sort of thinking that he's doing the right thing even though he's basically doing what his grandfather did. As for the new canon, kind of hard to say, but I would probably say Dr. Aphra as far as favorite new character, because she's just nuts. I mean, she's just... Again, it's kind of like, what if Indiana Jones were a woman and batshit insane? If you're not familiar with Dr. Aphra, she's a character from the Darth Vader comics that Marvel is putting out. Fantastic character. I mean, she's basically risking her life by working for Vader, knowing that if she fails, she's going to probably get killed. And she's still like, this is the best job ever! I mean, she's nuts. She's nuts, but she's brilliant in the nuttiness. Unfortunately, now that she's in the pages of Star Wars for Rebel Jail, they're not playing her as well. But it's interesting that it seems like she has a history with Sana Starros, a.k.a. Sana Solo. Perhaps even a lesbian relationship type of thing, because they talk. One of the characters refers to the other one essentially as having previously had a crush on each other, although I don't know if that's meant to be a joke and an insult being made or actually to be taken seriously. Oh, come here. I got a scout pistol for yo ass. Where you at? Did you just... You son of a motherless goat. Damn it! That scout pistol just needs to be at closer range to really get a kill in. Unfortunately. Oh. It's got a text on the work phone. So I need a 70% by Friday. I didn't mute. A 70% relative grade would be passing. There we go. My bad, excuse me. Love that voice recognition, though. Alright. Yeah, I love me some heroes versus villains just because it changes things up. I'm still very curious how they're going to handle heroes versus villains. Oh, crap, that was Boba Fett, wasn't it? In the near future, whenever they do the thing with adding Dengar and Lando, right? Is there going to be a mode that allows you to use Dengar, Lando, Nine Num, Greedo, and the other three? Or is it going to be just the original three plus whichever ones are for the DLC you've selected? Yes, Adios, in Georgia, there is no such thing as a D. So you either have an A, a B, a C, or an F. 70% is required to pass a course. And unfortunately, the students have a hard, and some of the parents a lot of times have a hard time initially with our setup, because I teach, hello, Gavin, I teach online using a platform called Edgenuity, an LMS they call it, Learning Management System. And, see you, Liam. Basically, in order to give a sense of different aspects of the grade, there are three main grades. There's a thing called overall grade, which just looks at what a student has done. Then there's the almost. Then there is the actual grade, and the students work essentially at their own pace, but there's a pace that it sets called the target completion, where it sort of expects you to be, if you're going to still be able to finish on time by doing about the same amount each day. And if a student is behind pace on that, the actual grade will sort of take that overall grade that was just on what they did and proportionally drop it, so they can see that being behind is proportionally causing damage to their grade, so they need to catch back up. But then there's a thing called the relative grade. That's just basically, you got grades on everything you've done, you've got zeros on everything you haven't done, even if you shouldn't have done it yet. So it's a way of kind of saying, relative to all the points in the semester, where do you stand? And that's the one we have to use at the end. And there's a level of confusion sometimes because they're not quite sure how that works. Because it means, like, you know, if you haven't taken the final yet, but you're not on the last day, it's still counting the final as a 0 until you get there, which confuses the crap out of them. But once they get the hang of it, they can actually watch that grade and see the moment they're guaranteed to pass, the moment they're guaranteed to be, and they really like that once they get the hang of looking at it. That will help. So, Matthew. Dragon Slayer, in generally, I do not add from the chat just because I'm not going to remember all the names. You are welcome to send me a request to yourself. It's Darth Soul, Darth_Soul. Bear in mind that generally, if trying to add into a match, that's one thing, but I'm not bringing people into the party chat when we're doing the actual live streams. And I've had, generally, if a request is sent for something like, you know, a match request, and I don't answer, that generally means something else is going on. I'm doing something else. I've had multiple times of having to remove people that added me from watching the streams because they would send a request, and then send a request, and then send a request, and then send a request. And that's just rude. So feel free to add me, but please be polite. Email that I use at this point is the one that I use for the timeline and everything else. Nathan at StarWarsFanWorks.com. StarWarsFanWorks.com is the website that I used as a hub for the Star Wars fan audio community for a long time. Now it's mostly just my old podcasts, my old audio dramas, and a few things that I host for other people. Like I host their files for other people. We're screwed! Come on, I want to kill somebody with my little scout thingy-majiggy. Oh! Oh, son of a bitch! Came around and went, pew, pew! Completely missed him. Completely missed him. And, yeah, I'm trying to play Battlefront more now because of the, you know, because of Outer Rim and because the live streams are becoming popular. And they're a good way to connect with Cloud City Casino. Now that I'm co-hosting that with Michael. So, yeah. Oh, coming around. Okay. Still got this disruptor I don't ever use. And boom! Oh! Oh, that is a hell of a throw. And Vader with the long bomb! Damn. That was unpleasant. Alright, get down here and kill somebody. Oh, shit. I want to use my scout pistol to kill somebody because I got a contract to do so. Uh-oh. I heard it and I was like, shit. Boom. B to the O to the M. Okay. Notice that left out the other O, so apparently that I said bomb. Whoa. Oh shit. I can't. It'll be. Well, I mean, like I said, if you want to send me a friend request, it's Darth_Soul. I'm generally not doing the adding while we're in the midst of live streams. If somebody's going to be on with me when we're playing a live stream, we're going to be arranging it ahead of time. So we got some topics to discuss and stuff like that. Son of a. You know why I'm bothering to run around. Can I get something other than this stupid disruptor that I don't like? There's a charge. Ah! There we go. I don't hardly ever use the charge star cards. Damn it! Again! At least he went flying off to his doom, kind of like Starkiller aced him in Force Unleashed. Okay, running back. Yeah.
The shipment is in transit.
Oh. Get back up, droid. Yeah, so the big news, of course, like I said, the big news was that Disney Infinity is gone because Disney Interactive Studios isn't going to be making their own stuff anymore. And then you've got the fact that basically you're looking at them doing nothing but publishing now, as opposed to actually developing. So that's not just Disney Infinity, that's overall. And the fact that they said new Battlefront next year, or at least new Battlefront content next year. Visceral Games in 2018, Respawn presumably in 2019, and so on.
I just want to get more kills before I run out of... Uh-oh, that's Darth Vader. Uh-oh. Run away.
Darth _ Soul. Like S-O-U-L. As opposed to S-O-L-E. I could be like a Lord of the Sith of Reebok or something. As I think back to the era in which Reebok was awesome and had the Reebok pump originally.
Where you running, mother? Where you running? I'm gonna kill you. Where you where are you going? Wait! Wait for me. Wait for you. Okay, fine. Haha! Finally!
Chasing that guy down and wound up killing his buddy because he just keeps running. Aw, oh, dang it. I didn't catch the defeat fast enough. Usually when it's a defeat, I'll click it and make sure to go, no! But, yeah, those emotes that do jack for you in the game. Are they emotes or emotes? And does it really matter? Oh, Oh, that's going through that. I will make sure to click the button. This usually, again, it's just kind of when the students are tending to eat dinner and be getting home, but every once in a while I have somebody who actually needs something. Last few streams there haven't been, but there we go. Student needed a retake on a quiz. So I can pull up my classroom right here. As long as it's a device that's internet enabled, pretty much, I can have my classroom pulled up. Cargo! Now if you had a super one, if you had like a super cargo, you could have S cargo, and that'd be kind of like having the snails. It tends the snails. Ew. Haven't ever tried that. I tried the chocolate covered grasshopper type stuff. I've tried ostrich, which tastes like hamburger actually. And different reptiles, most of which taste like chicken. Have never tried escargot, or liver, or gizzards, or brain, or tongue. Matthew, be like Darth, and then the little, you know, it's like a dash, except the one that goes on the bottom. Soul. Actually, it shows right there. There you go. Yeah, where it's on the yellow line, the darker yellow line, or the brighter yellow line there. Darth _ Soul. There you go.
Hello, people.
Quick, guys, we gotta go grab the package. See, it's almost like I'm watching Deadpool again.
Mine! Mine! Oh!
I do like these maps for, well, somewhat. I'm not as big a fan of this particular map, but I like the maps from Outer Rim for cargo, because they're a little bit smaller. They feel a little bit more, and I've made this comparison plenty of times, it feels a little bit more like playing Rift on Destiny, which is a really fun mode, as opposed to just constantly playing Capture the Flag and, you know, 1 or 2 scores wins it all because they're so damn far apart. Yes, there you go, Matthew, exactly. I don't think it'll matter if they're capitalized or not. In fact, I can't even remember if it's supposed to be capitalized. I guess it's not capitalized. Wasn't exactly an intended name. A buddy of mine who lived with me for a while when he was needing a place to stay set up, there you go, set up a name which was A-Town Soul, as in like Atlanta. And I don't even know if he uses that thing anymore. But he's like, so what name do you want? When I was setting up my PS3, what name do you want? Hell if I care. And so he created Darth Soul. And I've stuck with it for PlayStation 3, PSP Go. Yes, Go, not the other one. Yes, such a bad call. And then for the Vita and PS4. Speaking of which, if you have a PSP Go and you like card games, very lesser known game you ought to try out, Eye of Judgment Legends. I love the Eye of Judgment games. The PS3 game actually used real cards that you sit down on a mat in front of your PlayStation camera and it scans the cards and the characters come up out of the game to be able to play. But there's a digital-only PlayStation Portable version that you can play that's just as fun, and it actually has a story mode. The original Eye of Judgment, ironically, that I loved so much, was a lot like this Battlefront game in that it had no story or campaign mode at all. It was just straight, you know, go kick somebody's ass. The end. Which, granted, is, I believe, the copyrighted plot of almost every Jean-Claude Van Damme movie with the exception of Time Cop. But still. Damn it! I'm just not getting close enough for those to actually... Shit. To be good enough. The damage to be good enough. I gotta sneeze. One moment. I think I gotta sneeze. Okay, maybe not. I totally swallowed that sneeze back, apparently. And how much of a Star Wars and Lucasfilm, etc., fanboy does it make me that when he says, okay, thanks, THX, my immediate thought is, you know, the audience is listening and is now deaf. Why in the frackin' frack is it not? There we go. Shit. Of course, now the other guy's got the friggin' thing that I was going for, the power-up I was going for, but at least I finally got to set the stupid thing down. Yeah. The katana. Actually, no, this can't actually be the katana. This thing is way too... Well, maybe. I'm just thinking it kind of feels like it's too little. For all those people chilling and watching the Sarlacc battle and everything, it seems like it's kind of small. Have I ever met a Star Wars actor? Met a Star Wars actor. I know I've met, trying to think of who else been in, like, guest stars and stuff like that. I've met Anthony Forrest, who played Fixer but was cut from the film. I'm trying to think if I've met any others, like either at Dragon Con in the past or at Con Carolinas. My main thing that the people that I tend to try to meet are the writers of the comics or the novels. So I've met a ton of them and interviewed a ton of them. I don't know that I've ever really taken much time to interact with the actors. I had a couple instances of being able to have like quick conversations with them. And I've had there's a line of communication I had for quite a while back and forth with Leland Chi, and now to a lesser degree with Pablo Hidalgo, but from the standpoint of like people acting in the films, not really. Not particularly, but it's not exactly something I've been seeking out extensively either. Oh! Saved by the fact that the geometry is all screwed up in this game and sometimes will swallow your feet. Hoo-yah!
Our cargo box has been returned.
Our cargo box has been returned. Die! Yeah, probably would have been a good time to run up behind him and shoot him with the scout pistol, but knowing me, I would have missed. Alright, shoot. Now that I got this proximity mine, I ought to go back to hours and set one. Let's see. What do I think of the special editions? You know, I think... For lack of a better term, I feel as though the special editions are... They increase in their irrelevance as you go along. So, like, redoing some of the shots with CG, for instance, I think that worked all right originally. Although the CG feels a little dated until you get to where they revamp it again. But then, and some of the additions like the Jabba scene, we'd wanted to see. Granted, it's redundant with Greedo, but we'd wanted to see it for a long time. Instead of just that little version of it, the little one with the human actor, that of course was on Behind the Magic, or not Behind the Magic, from Star Wars: The Jedi: The Making of a Saga. That's what I'm thinking of. But damn it. But then you get to like 2004, and there are some tweaks, most of which aren't really all that necessary. And then you get to 2011, and they tweak them again, and while you got some tweaks that sort of make sense, but just kind of feel extraneous, like all the extra stuff sticking out of R2-D2 when he's zapped on Endor now, then you got stuff like the rocks in front of R2-D2 that only appear from one angle in A New Hope, or hey, let's make Jabba the Hutt's palace doors much, much bigger. But we're only going to make them bigger from the outside, not the inside, so it doesn't make any damn sense. It's like a reverse Doctor Who. It's bigger on the outside. So it's kind of a... There were times originally it sort of felt like it was George Lucas saying, hey, I couldn't do this before, I want to do it now. Okay. And then eventually it's, I'm going to do it because screw you, I'm George Lucas and I want to do it. Right? Which is not necessarily a smart thing to do. And I kind of think of the same thing, like when they bragged about the filmmaking process for the prequels. The bragging was always, look how much shit we can cram into one shot. Almost no shots exist that don't have some kind of digital thing. Okay, but are you telling a solid story? Are you servicing the story with all of this? Do we really need this extraneous crap? Well, but it makes it look cool and it shows how we're pushing the envelope tech-wise. But is it necessary? BAM! So I'm kind of like... I think that it's ironic that particularly when it comes to the special editions, George Lucas, the man famous for saying a special effect without a story is a pretty boring thing, decided to start playing with special effects without story. And doing things with it that were not... in service to the story. Ah! Eat it! Eat it! Eat it! Get yourself an egg and beat it. That's something that I'd like now. Now that Michael Jackson is dead, somebody needs to do like an extensive study to figure out what some of the words were that he was actually saying. Like, Shamona! What? What is that exactly? Is that like the national call for child molester? I mean, for pop singers? Yes. Surely I wasn't insinuating that he was a child molester or anything like that. That's ignorant. Yeah, I'm a little random if nobody's figured that out yet. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Ah, defeat. Which that's defeat from the jaws of defeat. That was easy. I want to see where my Hutt contract is, though. I probably ought to be playing something else other than Outer Rim in order to really get a chance to use that scout pistol much. But that's more for like the emergency situation where somebody comes around the corner like, ah! Speaking of random shootings, this has... and having nothing to do with Star Wars here, but doesn't have to do with gaming. So my wife and I have started watching Prison Break. We're doing the Netflix binge watching of Prison Break and just plowing on through them when we don't have anything new on Hulu to watch of something else that we're already watching. So we're watching, and we just finished Season 3, where the whole thing is about breaking out of a Panamanian prison, and repeatedly there are fights for honor or whatever in this prison between inmates. And sure enough, twice in the first few hours of Uncharted 4, you're breaking out of a Panamanian prison, and you start when you first meet adult Nathan Drake getting your ass kicked in the middle of a staged fight in a Panamanian prison with a corrupt guard. So I'm kind of like, these guys really spent some time watching Prison Break. All right, 15 kills with the scout pistol, and I'm at 6. Aight. Extraction? Nah, no thank you. And hopefully it won't... Okay. Yeah, last time I was doing a stream, it went to that very brief black screen with the spinning thing before the Battlefront logo came up, and that's where it just kind of stalled out. and I wound up having to restart. That's when the DNS thing happened. Again, if you're trying to stream on PS3 and you start getting a thing up there where it says elapsed time that says preparing and it never switches over and clicks you on air, turn off the internet connection, turn it back on the PS4, and you'll be fine. It's a DNS issue. All right, 40-player, 12-player, or hero modes. I don't care. I'm an Imperial in... Oh, in something! In something! Walker Assault at the Graveyard of Giants. We're going back to Jakku! Why do you need to go back to Jakku, Poe Dameron? To get my BB-8 unit, it's one of a kind, orange and white. So, you're telling me orange and white just in case you die so I can find it, right? Because otherwise telling me it was orange and white doesn't make any damn sense. Understood? Okay, great. One of the few lines that really felt out of place in The Force Awakens. It's orange and white. Okay. It's not dark. It's Darth. Like Star Wars. D-A-R-T-H. Do a search on PSN for Darth Soul, and you'll find me. There's only one Darth_Soul, because otherwise I'd be logging in under somebody else's name, and we'd have identity theft going on. And trust me, with my wife having gone through that, identity theft sucks. And we're still dealing with it now, but that's just because her estranged mother is crazy. And an identity thief, we're pretty sure. But that's neither here nor there. Go, 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 ninja, go. Oh, dead. I got killed by Fruiter. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Whee!
Rebel bomber has locked onto our AT.
A rebel bomber. It's not a rebel bomber so much as a rebel. He locked onto me and killed me. I don't think I've ever actually locked on when using Luke. I know you can. I do not believe I've ever actually tried it, though. Damn! An X-Wing crashed into the ATST. Well, that's one way to do it. Oh! We need a hero! I'm holding out for a hero! Don't know that song either. Just like the whole, touch my tits when I'm in heat. Let's go with Vader. I just like cutting people to pieces. There shouldn't be. At least not on PSN there shouldn't be. Not with the underscore. There's only one. Unless somebody's using like a 0 for the O or something. Darth_Soul, all spelled with actual letters. What the shit? Oh, there he is. I was like, you little bastard, run! Yeah!
Feel the power of the dark side.
Ungrateful brat. I brought you into this world, I'll take you out! Granted, I brought you into this world that had nothing to do with your life until you became my enemy, but I still take you out. Interesting revelations, by the way. I'm not going to spoil it, but interesting revelations about the motivations of certain characters and the interlinking of certain events and whatnot with the newest issue of Darth Vader. Darth Vader number 20, I believe it is.
Even like this, I can defeat you.
Orbital strike! Beep, 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 beep. Click. I shut down your uplink. I shut down your uplink. Now how you gonna get on Twitter? Huh? How you gonna get on Twitter? Oh, you die now. That's twice now that I've killed a couple of those prune faces, those weak, or that's not even prune face, that's a weak way. 2 weak ways who were sitting there camping with the same type of weapon. I'm assuming it's the same guy. But I did not pay attention because I do not care enough. I have no idea. If that doesn't work, I have no idea. Like, if just putting in Darth_Soul doesn't work, I have an idea. I have no idea. Unless you want to just do a search by real name. I don't know if you can even do that on PSN. If so, look for Nathan Butler, but there's going to be probably multiple Nathan Butlers, too. I knew several Nathan Butlers just growing up. Okay, I'm done walking. I should probably go do something. Darth Vader walks all menacing in the wrong direction. I see you. Who's shooting at me? What bitch be shooting at me? Oh, I did. He's behind me. Interesting that they still play the Imperial March when you die. My profile picture is the hero dude from Tron Evolution. You'll see it when this match ends. It'll do a little match summary thing, and you'll see it. Black and blue, black with blue tints. It used to be one of the cubics from Eye of Judgment. Except people kept asking me why I had a mummified testicle as my symbol. I was like, yeah, I probably ought to change that. Because he does kind of look like a mummified testicle. Alright, now I'm assuming that I'm probably going to have that jerky crap. Yep. See, that jerking right there that's happening, that's why I don't play Fighter Squadron when I'm streaming. Ah! Oh, I actually killed somebody. Ah! I feel like Marty McFly. Ah! Oh! Killed by an A-hole wing. I mean an A-wing.
Solo has finally paid for his crimes.
Oh, Solo. I thought you said Silo, and I was like, wait a second. That's the Darth Vader comic right there. What you talking about? Silo. Right, Silo 4, which, right, the 4, the IV looks kind of like an N, so Cylon, har har. I was low, Vader, but then I done died. Oh, you put down a shield. Mine. Oh, no, you didn't. Where'd he go? Damn it. The shield wasn't down fast. I thought I saw his shield flicker. Kill assist. I don't want an assist. I want to kill with my freaking scout, whatever it is. My biker scout looking gun that I used to love as a toy. I thought it was so cool looking and resembled the weapons in the 3rd generation of Robotech, dang it. Yeah, finally! I don't even care if I'm dead. Finally got another kill with my stupid scout rifle. Or scout pistol. I keep saying scout rifle. That's Destiny. That's that competent shooter. Alright, quick check. Good. Boom, 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 boom.
You're in the bunker.
And they're in the bunker. What bunker?
Rebel bombers have locked on.
There we go. Yes, the friend request did come through. Which, for anybody watching, just showed up as like this block of blurry black and white, I believe. Damn it! Pew pew! Shoot! I will singe the side of your leg, mother... I was very impressed. Speaking of mothers, I was very impressed on Mother's Day recently that my Facebook feed was not full of Samuel L. Jackson jokes this time. That tends to be the way it usually works out. But not this time.
Move on that position.
Don't care. Going for my kills. and to get killed, which kind of work together. I'm a hero. Shit.
Rebel Y-Wings are targeting the walkers.
And is he dead already? Ah, he's probably dead already. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Whoa! Come on, come on. Ah, I killed him, but I didn't kill him with the right gun. Quick, while everybody's focused on the walkers, find one and kill him. Everybody's jumping up top.
Keep the rebels back.
Oh, that was cool. I never noticed that. In this music that's not actually, I believe, from the films, there was a moment there where it went da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, dun, and then did something else. They actually worked in the more traditional music. That's kind of impressive. Damn it again! I keep doing that. I will get close. I will pull it out, but I guess it's while I'm hitting the button to pull out the scout pistol, I must be veering somehow, and by the time I pull it out, it's shooting next to me. Which, by the way, will happen to you a lot in Uncharted 4. It does tend to be that you, at least on normal, without aim assist on, you'll pull out the gun and you'll be about a foot or two shy of where you actually need to shoot. Favorite movies besides Star Wars? Marvel Cinematic Universe comes to mind. Fight Club comes to mind. A Few Good Men comes to mind. You go ahead. Because I'd probably be screwed up by lag anyway. What's up? Man, I really need to upgrade my scout pistol because that thing already recharges pretty quickly. I can only imagine how fast that thing refreshes. Whoa! You jumped through me, mother. Yeah, Fight Club, A Few Good Men. I really like Kenneth Branagh's version of Hamlet. It varies. Kind of more depends on what genre. That's the other thing we got to figure out where to put is all of our DVD and Blu-ray shelves. There we go. Must be watching. Dylan, are you out there? There we go. That's the other thing I need to, another thing I need to try sometime soon. Apparently Dark Side of the Moon fits very well with The Force Awakens. So I've done that with, I haven't listened to Dark Side of the Moon in years, but I've done that with Wizard of Oz. I have not tried it with The Force Awakens. Damn it! I was killed by Springer. Shouldn't he be out there bopping RC and leaving me alone?
The rebels have activated an uplink station.
Stay sharp. We got hostiles.
It's like, how did Springer get so lucky? He's like one of the only Transformer males who winds up ever finding a Transformer female. That's all I'm saying. Rogue One or Episode 8? Right now, Rogue One, because Rogue One is of a storytelling type we haven't really seen in Star Wars films, the gritty war drama kind of thing. So I'm pretty psyched to see that, particularly because I'm kind of coming out of a time period myself when, when I first got into podcasting, first got into Star Wars audio dramas production, first got into, reading the EU, the Legends continuity back in '92, was a year late at getting into it. You didn't tell gritty war stories of Star Wars. They just didn't, just didn't exist. So we actually, a big part of why we made what's now thought of as the first serious Star Wars fan audio drama released online of any of them. Second Strike, the whole point of Second Strike was to tell a gritty Star Wars war story, because it just wasn't done. You don't bring blood and guts and sacrifice and death and morality plays like that into Star Wars. My goodness. It's kind of like, what? Right, the prequels are at essence a tragedy. So what? But this was before novels like Shatterpoint kind of pushed the envelope. And Revenge of the Sith wasn't out at the time. Man, I can't believe I keep getting the same freaking Pro Droid. I don't like the Pro Droid. I don't care about the Pro Droid. Give me something I can use.
Rebels have called in a Y-wing.
Give me
Must
something
deactivate their
good.
uplink station to stop their bombers.
I was also pretty psyched that the Rogue One trailer, when they did the trailer reaction, where they did the ILM group doing reactions to the trailer, or reactions to fan reactions to the trailer, I guess is the best way to put it. I was very stoked because they used a piece of my, damn it, a piece of my video in it. So I was like, yay! Every great once in a while I get a chance to get that tip of the hat kind of thing going on, which is nice. I think the first time was the new Essential Guide to Characters, I think. It was the first, like, thanks tip of the hat that I had, but it's been so long that may be wrong. I may be totally confused. Want to go kill. Did not care no about anything else. Hello. Want to use scout pistol to kill. Hello. 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 Favorite canon book, hands down, is Lost Stars. Lost Stars is fantastic. I would say second favorite would be Bloodline. Third would be Dark Disciple. But Lost Stars is fantastic. Claudia Gray has been kicking ass. And oddly, Dark Disciple, also by a woman, Christy Golden. It seems like the women... Wow.
Talk about insult on the injury when you're winning.
Yeah, the female writers have been just rocking it. I think that the male writers have a greater volume and are weaving in with more things, but the female writers for Star Wars right now seem to be getting more to the emotional heart of things and telling stories that are really kind of impactful in that sense. So, you know, coolness. I slowly work my way up to rank 60. I had just gotten to rank, 50 or whatever it is. And I was like, oh, not as much point in playing now. And stepped away from it for a while, and now I'm back. A little bit. Kills 15, deaths 14. Positive kill-death ratio, but only just. Not that I really care about the statistics side of things, but still. I'm going to shoot for one of the smaller modes. If it shall let me. Not quite sure why the loading circle doesn't just spin around. Instead it's like... Shadow! You wind up like barfing over it. If you're Marvel... Let's see, if you're Marvel, my little brother's channel called Marvel 2. Cool. Cool. I don't tend to watch a lot of Marvel stuff on YouTube, but that's just because I'm not usually sitting there watching much. I'm tending to catch like the everything wrong with videos, clips from last week tonight, and not a whole lot else just because of just not sitting there as much. Oh goody, Droid Run. Probably my least favorite mode of all of them. Fantastic. Droid Run just annoys the hell out of me because in theory, a match, unless your team actually gets all three and holds them, a match is completely worthless except about the last 30 seconds. Because that's when it makes all the difference on which side has more out of the three. Please tell me my HUD contract is going a little bit further. Oh, good. 8. Still got 7 more to get. But it's 2 more than I had the last time, so I probably shouldn't gripe. So, 7 more, and I'll have my DL-18. Which, of course, is the weapon Luke takes from the guard in Return of the Jedi, which is also used by Kanan Jarrus on Rebels.
Come on, guys, we gotta go get the other droid. Oh! I saw you. Only a little, though, because you're camouflage.
I think that's one thing that we all just very quickly learned to just kind of live with and stop griping about was how from a character coloration and skin standpoint, there are maps on this game that are completely unbalanced. Like, anything on Hoth, if you're playing as a stormtrooper, you have a camouflage advantage. If you're playing anything on Endor and you're a rebel, you have a camouflage advantage. Whoa! Was a son of a... Okay, good. I was about to say, if I was right next to him and still didn't pull it off, that would be some bull. Be some bullschlitz. Which I think is German for, you know, something. Woohoo! Hello! Rebel Scout!
Crush their will. Recover the last droid.
Rebel Scout, where are you taking this thing? Alright, guys, we gotta get that last one. And then we gotta hold them. And they're just kinda...
Deny the rebels the droid. Move.
chilling over there. Who the...
Stop it! Crazy bitch.
have I read the Star Wars Marvel comics? Yes. I have to, pretty much. My Star Wars Timeline Gold requires pretty much reading everything, summarizing everything. So, yep. Both old and new of the Marvel comics. Though one could possibly argue that the amount of time that I spent reading the old Marvel comics could be considered something that should be grounds for hazard pay.
Defend the droids at all costs!
Ah, okay, good. He did.
We are winning!
7.
Ah, son of a whore! Don't let the droid be taken away, bros! Come on, bros!
Mine! And now, I shall kill you. Oh, I did. Oh, he was inside his shield. I was like, what happened? I thought it was fog. That was not fog, that was a shield.
Dang it.
At least we came close. It wasn't quite as ludicrous as usual.
Oh, you got a problem with Ludacris?
No, he does all kinds of charity work in the Atlanta area. I like Ludacris.
Gaining control of the final droid.
Haven't really listened to much that he's done musically, but he seems like a decent person so far.
Recapture the droids at once.
Nope, never been outside of the U.S. Been to different states, mostly on the eastern half of the country, but have not been outside the U.S. Oh, shiza. And a 1, and a 2. And what the hell was that? There's a little bit of lag going on, just a tad. Alright, it in. Come on.
Anybody over there gonna get blown the fuck up? Do it!
I hate the interface to start an orbital strike, because it almost never actually activates for me on the first try.
We are losing. Oh no.
I want to see American politics work like this. I want to see us decide who our president is by having, like, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump running around trying to capture droids or something. Ever watch Star Trek? I was a big Star Trek fan for a while. Watched and was a big fan of watching all the Next Generation stuff, had all kinds of guidebooks, used to record Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine off of television and dub them onto tapes in a viewing order that followed the star date so that I could just watch them and watch them and watch them. Gave up about 5 seasons, give or take, into Deep Space Nine, about halfway through Voyager and stopped. Went back later, watched all of Enterprise, never did go back and watch the rest of Voyager or Deep Space Nine. I am a big fan of the new JJ continuity stuff, because I just like the more fast-paced storytelling. Wow, kills 1, deaths 8. Oh, good, and droid run again. Use 30 charges is a challenge. Win 3 heroes versus villains matches, but I haven't bothered. Okie day. Actually, come to think of it, when the final episode of Next Generation aired, they actually had a viewing party in my hometown at one of the local car dealerships of all places. I was one of the youngest people there, but won the trivia contest they had. So I got like I still have a little Next Generation cup from it. I had a bunch of cards. I think I sold the cards years ago. It's like the full whatever the blue background card set was at the time. Yatukato or something. Hopefully, at least the emotes in the next Battlefront will be like "Takalakapawa" or whatever it is that Ray says. Or heck, even just the fact that, you know, Ray says "Oi," which is definitely a you know, the British kind of thing. I think that would be pretty cool. Oh, that's a bird. The hell? There are birds on... Okay. I just noticed birds here for the first time. Probably just because I do not pay attention. Did you notice a bird before you shot me? And why am I looking up your anus? I think the anus question is probably the more pertinent one. But still, I'm curious about the both. That's not even designed to be a long-range weapon, and I blew your ass up from long range. How you like that? You're taking the droid. That sounds vaguely sexual. Hey, look, it's me! Hey, blue Twi'lek chick! I'm a blue Twi'lek chick, too! Did I vote on Donald Trump? Hell no. If Donald Trump becomes our president, I'm very happy to at least be able to say I took no part in that fuck up. I mean, that screw up. I'm officially at a point where there isn't anybody still in the race that I would actually vote for. So I can comment on it with full impunity. Because I can't be said to be biased because I'm supporting someone when there's nobody to support. And I'm pretty sure I just hung in the air there for a second. Y'all see that? I'm just saying. Talk about getting some hang time. Arrow? Arrow want to kill you. Arrow want to kill you. Yeah, finally.
Don't allow them to claim the droid.
Yeah, you just ran at that guy. Because for some reason, for a second, you thought you were an Imperial. Stupid. Which is actually what happened. I saw the Stormtrooper. I was like, oh, look, a Stormtrooper. It's one of my guys. Oh, wait. The whole switching back and forth between sides thing is a little frustrating sometimes. But that's okay. Damn it! Fine, die anyway. I hear a tinka 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 from somebody having a thingy. I figure our choice, I mean, we do have a legitimate choice now politically in the United States. We can choose from the utterly corrupt, pathological liar on the right, or the utterly corrupt, pathological liar on the left. And we can choose between male and female, but that's pretty much it. So it's just a question, do you like your pathological liars, male or female, right or left? And if you actually have an opinion on that, then A, your brain's probably kind of broken, and B, at least you'll feel like you still have viable choices in this election cycle. interesting to know that we've actually reached a point, it seems like, where the United States public or American public had just kind of said, screw it, we don't care. The low information crowd wins. I cannot wait until we get to our first war started by Trump mocking some female head of state by referring to blood coming out of her wherever. Just saying. So this is how liberty dies. To thunderous applause. Oh yeah! That's kind of a delayed reaction. I'm like, I shot you! And it's like it takes a little bit for the blast from the scout pistol to actually work its way through his armor to actually kill him. There's something wrong with that. Alright, let's blow up. I want to blow up the probe droid. I want to blow up the probe droid. Come on. There we go. It actually worked. I didn't watch it, but it worked. Hurrah!
They're trying to take the last droid. Stall them.
We're trying to take the last droid. Oh, we're playing Droid Run?
Say hello to my little friend.
Uh-oh. Nope, maybe not. See, again. Boom, boom. Oh! It's like they're auditioning to be the stunt people, right? Where the punch is like... Oh!
I'm coming. I'm trying to help.
Don't you mess with our droid. Bow. Here we go. Bust out that scout pistol just in case I run into anybody.
They're capturing a droid. We have the droids. Let's end this.
We have all the droids? No, we're losing some of the droids, otherwise it'd be showing us the winning thing. We have the droids. You lying sack of turds. Oh, we claiming.
Droid. Let's turn this around.
We're facing a superior force!
I don't know why my default laugh when I kill somebody is the bully from Simpsons. That probably speaks ill of me. Oh, please. Please come inside. Trait level 3. Yeah. Trait level trace, mother. Die! Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it! Yeah.
Take the droid. Stop them now.
Okay. Oh, freaking K. There we go. I'm like standing there holding down the button and nothing be happening.
We're about to lose the last droid.
That's the friend request. Yeah, I haven't gone, because in order to do that, I have to go out to a screen that basically leaves you guys watching dead air. So any of that kind of stuff I'll do after the stream is over with. I can see the request pop up, but not in a way that can really be. Oh, that was quick.
We only have one droid
Ah,
left.
shit! I keep shooting their feet! Or by their feet. It's like I'm a bad enemy in a Western or something. Bad as in, like, crappy. Enemy in a Western. I'm just like, dance! Excuse me. Come on, run! You can dance better than that!
The last droid. Defend it.
Mine. Spank you. I think my wife got me saying that. My wife says spank you instead of thank you.
Only one droid left.
When she's messing around, like not when she's actually grateful about something. That'd be kind of asinine. Kill them Imperial scumbags. There we go. Booyah. That should have just unlocked the gun. Yeah. In theory, it unlocked the gun, but it didn't show because I got myself shot. That was one of the things that happened on a previous run-through of trying to do one of the bounties, and it reset the bounty to like the halfway point. So we'll just have to see whether I actually got the gun or not.
We're taking a droid.
Good for you.
On my way. Uh-oh. And that Imperial probe droid didn't notice me hardly at
They're
all.
securing the last droid. Stop them.
They're securing the last droid? First time I saw Star Wars, I do not actually know. I'm assuming it was seeing The Empire Strikes Back in the theater in 1980 when I was a, like, 1-year-old or less. And if I saw somebody doing that, I'd be pissed these days. But my mom says that apparently that was a thing then, so we went to go see it. In theaters, I vaguely remember seeing Return of the Jedi in theaters in '83. And I eventually had... Why are you shooting at me? I eventually had Empire and Jedi and Making of a Saga to watch on a VHS tape from HBO. So whenever they first aired on HBO, we had a recording of it. And that's when I started watching it constantly. I didn't have a copy of A New Hope to watch at home until around '92 when they did the first widescreen VHS set in the U.S., the special letterbox collector's edition. All right, did I get my gun? Yeah, I did get the gun. Time to try it out. Who wants to be my guinea Womprat?
We've lost major ground. Just one droid left.
I guess you can't really have someone be a guinea pig in Star Wars because there would be no Guinea. Guinea is a place. This gun does not feel like it's all that special. Hello?
We can't lose the last droid. Get over there.
Oh, shot you. Didn't kill you, but shot you. Oh, victory. Alright. Checking again. And yes. Had to hit refresh, but checking again. Come on now. And gonna push that through. Let's see how there's a lot of sort of manual things that can be done with the online courses. It just kind of depends on what a student needs. You have the ability to meet student needs better, I think, than in a traditional classroom because the students are working through the platform themselves, essentially in a vacuum other than having a teacher there to assist. So the end result is that you have a chance to really kind of step in and assist them where they really need the help in a way that, you know, if you're trying to juggle 30 some odd students at once, is a little tricky. I mean, I've got about 200 students right now and I can still help them each individually. All right, I'll go ahead and do, oh God, it's Droid Run again. Let's Tell you what, I'm going to pull out of here and do one match of something else and then probably call it a day. Do I still have any vintage figures? Actually, all my vintage figures I sold a while back. I sold all my vintage figures and all of my, actually my vintage ones and all my ones from the 90s. The only figures I still have are the ones from my comic. In 2004, if you're familiar with this or not, but in 2004, I had an opportunity to write for Star Wars Tales for Dark Horse Comics. And the story that I wrote, Equals and Opposites, was the one that brought Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors back together, and they were fighting against the Yuuzhan Vong during the New Jedi Order books. And basically, a few years later, Hasbro took my story out of that issue and released it as an individual issue as a comic pack, where they had 2 action figures with it. It was the second ever Kyle Katarn figure and the first ever Yuuzhan Vong figure in that comic pack. So I still have, I think it's 4 of those comic packs. I got 2 unopened ones that I have up on sort of like a little display thing, and then I've got 2 that are open so I can have the 2 comics to put into different things, like keepsake type things that I have. But beyond that, I don't think I have any more Star Wars figures anymore. Not really, unless you count the Disney Infinity stuff. And for Disney Infinity, I've collected all the Marvel and the Star Wars ones. But as we learned this week, that's not going to wind up mattering much in the near future because Disney Infinity is going bye-bye. All right. Other than Scout Pistol, what do I want to use? What's something to try? Until I get a new HUT contract, it won't really matter. I'll do an impact grenade. Why not? I almost never, unless I'm playing Walker Assault, and I'm on the side, the Rebel side, I almost never switch out from having the jetpack or the jump pack, so I continue my comment that I still think that the jetpack or the jump pack should be standard gear once you unlock it. You should not have to fill up a star card slot to use it. Ah! That was weird. It went behind him, and there's seen for a second to be a stormtrooper behind him, and then not. Strange. And so for those who haven't played Supremacy much, or perhaps at all, Supremacy works a little different by the scoring. What you see up there, essentially, the idea is that the Rebels want to push to one side or the other. The Rebels want to push one direction, the Imperials want to push the other direction. And the goal is to get both of the far right or the far left, depending on which side you're on. Let's see if I can, like, go around here. Oh, hey! Always need more charges. Uh-oh, Boba Fett! Boba Fett! Where? Right in front of me. Ha! Dang it! I missed again. Catch? Like Lieutenant Catch? Like Yub Yub Commander? Hi, guys. Alright, that blaster really kind of sucks. Cooling power, damage, rate of fire. So why would you want to play with that one again? When you could play with the DT-12 and the DL-44? I mean, unless it's the cooling power, what is the point? I mean, I guess the idea is that you can just hammer away at it. Let's see it. Let's see if this thing is worth it from the standpoint of like a... Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay. But I mean, if you're going to do that, why not use like a heavy blaster that has an automatic rapid fire instead of constantly having to do the multiple trigger pulls?
We are taking possession of a control point.
Hey, we're taking possession of a control point. What is my job? I am the... Oh, a few things. I am the first... I say first because we're going to have a second. Just not this school year. I'm the first, and so far only full-time social studies teacher for a program called Fulton Virtual for the Fulton County school system in the Atlanta area. Basically, I teach the vast majority of the social studies classes and oversee them online through Edgenuity, which is the learning management system, or LMS, that we use. Go out to visit schools to help students, help them when they need help online, help by text, by phone, manage the courses and that sort of thing. Very much facilitating rather than being the one delivering the content. That's all handled by the system for the most part. Then I'm also the lead virtual coach for our teacher induction program, which basically means that when new teachers first enter the county, they have to go through a staff development kind of thing to make sure they're all good to go to work in the county and have what they need and have the support and all that kind of stuff. Part of that is a set of 3 online courses they take called virtual seminars. And I oversee the experienced teachers who themselves oversee those seminars. They're virtual coaches. I'm the lead virtual coach. Hello, Kuba. And then lastly, I guess... I'm a social studies curriculum architect for the county, which means that as we're working with Marzano Labs, which would probably mean something if you're big on education, as we're working with Marzano Labs to develop proficiency scales so that our grading stops being all percentages and, well, it's kind of you know, we're teaching the standards, but then we're grading, you know, a little bit of everything. Like, oh, it's late, we're going to dock you points, and the kind of stuff that doesn't really allow students to work at their own pace and all that stuff. As we're getting rid of that, and we're moving towards a more personalized type of learning with these proficiency scale things, they have to be developed by someone. So I'm part of the team that's developing those for the American government course. So basically, like, what defines a student who is very proficient, moderately proficient, and so on particular subjects, and what are some different options that students might have as far as being able to actually show their proficiency, so that it's not all just pen and paper tests, you know, projects, conversations, discussions, creative things they can make, all that kind of stuff. We're sort of on the developmental stage of all that. And then on the side, when I'm able, I write. I wrote for Star Wars Tales. I've written for the Battle of Phobos series from Girl Quest Books. 2 novellas for that. I've written an article on Star Wars or Movie Magic Magazine, and I have written essays that'll appear in Sequart's Star Wars anthologies. The first one being a long time ago, exploring the Star Wars cinematic universe, which is out now. It's my article's on season 1 of Rebels. Then I've got an article on the first part of the old Marvel comic series up through Empire Strikes Back in the next one, and then I get to do the afterward opposite a forward by Timothy Zahn in the 3rd book. And that is cool. Yeah, personally, I'm not as big a fan of the middle school classes here, but that's because I feel like the middle school classes here are very watered down. They tend to be not quite sure how deep can we go with the content for a middle schooler. Like, some of the lessons and some of the topics are things that you could basically have seen in an elementary school, grades 1 through 5. But then you got other topics that would be way over the heads of elementary schoolers, but seem like they may be a little bit too high level for the middle school. I've never been a big fan of how the American middle school course curriculums work. It feels like they need to be a little bit more specialized to that age instead of just feeling like, well, they're middle school. We can have a little bit of elementary and a little bit of high school, and that'll be fine. No, developmentally, middle schoolers are different. I mean, when you're that age, that's developmentally different than someone who is a few years older or a few years younger. You asshole!
Skywalker's in the zone.
Oh, kilt. Oh, I'm hoping I need to actually look at what. Oh, can't see it that way. I need to see how many credits I've got to see if I can actually start up the next HUT contract. I'm betting I can't. But that'll be the last thing. This will be my last match for the night. And then I'm gonna do a quick check of, hey, don't swing your stick at me. That is sexual harassment. I am a female character, because you can't be a Twi'lek male in this freaking game. Instead, you can be a Twi'lek female when you hit that high level, or you can be an ugly-ass male Quarren. At least, God, I hope it's a male Quarren, because that is one ugly Quarren. And Luke Skywalker's over there swinging his stick. Yeah, there's probably a pretty big difference between U.S. and Netherlands curriculum. I would hope, because ours is kind of screwy. I mean, I like the fact that our county is very big on the personalized learning, on the online options. I mean, I really kind of feel like we're on a... And same thing with our teacher development stuff. We're very much kind of on the leading edge of that, at least for the state, if not this region of the country. But that still doesn't change the fact that, you know, the general approach taken in the U.S. towards middle school is just... I don't know, it's just never really felt right on target to me. It's always felt like Stormtrooper aim, right? They're kind of shooting at the target, but they're rarely actually hitting it dead on. Or if George Lucas would appreciate that, given that he founded the George Lucas Educational Foundation, now known as Edutopia. Oh, good, we're down to a minute. Not a big fan of supremacy. But I love this map. It's a little confusing because I haven't played on it all that much, but I love the, you know, burning indoor map. I would only hope to see some burning Ewoks or maybe some burning Duloks. I still killed your friend, or hurt your friend. Nice, nice. Buddy of mine who also does some of the Star Wars chronological stuff online, I believe, is either a paleontologist or studying to be a paleontologist. Oh, defeat! What the? Back on the ground. You lost. You are grounded. Slap. All right, so 910 score. That sucked. All right. At least it puts me over the halfway mark to 54, though, which isn't too bad. Be nice, again, it'd be nice if we got more of those double credit weekends, because that's when the credit earning and the progression feels normal as opposed to the anemic pace of normal. But I digress. I feel like it's the same gripes that I make all the time. Oh, 5 to 17. Ouch. As always, I am so much better when I'm not trying to talk at the same time, but if I was just playing and not saying anything, it'd be a pretty boring stream. Okay, oh, by the way, ski. You can get it in the Midwest. I live in Georgia. Last time we visited my family in the Midwest, the tradition is you bring home Big B barbecue, you bring home barbecue chips from the company's escaping me now for some reason, but you bring home Big B barbecue, you bring home barbecue chips from the company that you can only get them from up there, or Grippos is what it's called, and then you bring home some ski, because otherwise you can't get them down here. Alright, so let's see. Where do I stand on this stuff? So I'm still only at about 5,500 credits, which sucks. So the HUT contracts that are left, as far as kind of figuring out the game plan, there's Mandalorian Strength, which is reach level 3 on any trait card 5 times. That's going to be a pain in the butt to actually pull off. So that'll probably be the last one that I deal with. Then we've got Hostile Negotiations, 15 kills with a Dioxis Grenade, 25 kills with any explosive device, and 20 cooling cells used. 20 cooling cells is easy. 25 kills with any explosive device is not too horrible, although I'm not sure if the whatever you called it, the little rocket, lock-on rocket thing, counts for that, and it fires so slowly now it kind of sucks. And get 15 kills with the Dioxis Grenade. Got a feeling that's probably going to have to be, you know, whittling their health down, then drop the grenade. And then we got 3 Shock Blaster Streaks, 30 kills with the Scatter Gun, 15 enemies with any Shock Blaster. So, probably I'll be doing Slug Thrower 2 next, then Hostile Negotiations 2, and then waiting for Mandalorian Strength until later. More than likely. Alright. What can... oh, the back to ball. It's, let's see. So, cool about moving to the U.S. Hopefully, if you like the idea, that's cool. Otherwise, that stinks. Same thing. Moving to the U.S. Because nothing in Britain was suiting your needs. I'm hoping that turned out to be a positive move. I speak from... I haven't ever moved outside of the country, but I had to move several states away to find a teaching job initially. There are so many people graduating with teaching degrees in my hometown because one of the top schools for educators is there, which is the University of Evansville that I went to. There's so many graduates, and at the time there was so little need for more teachers at the time that you would have had to have been a substitute teacher for about 2 years at least before you could actually find a permanent position most times. So I went to where I could definitely find a job, which was to a lower income South Metro Fulton County area. I've only been doing the online thing since 2 Januaries ago for like a year and a half now. But I stuck it out for about 12 to 13 years teaching at a Title I school down in this area, lower income, lower socioeconomic. and kind of grew to enjoy that. But I had to move. I had to move from one state to another to find that opportunity. To answer then, and hello Kenny, we're actually just getting ready to hop off of here. But to answer your question, Matthew, what can a back-to-bomb do? I'm going to pull it up here if I can remember where it is. Yes, okay, so back-to-bomb. Basically, and there's two versions like any of the others, right? There's the regular and there's the upgraded. Mine is upgraded, but to upgrade with these, with the HUT contract ones, you got to do the next HUT contract. It's not like you just pay to upgrade it. So I've done both of the contracts for this, and basically what it does is you throw it, and it produces this blue mist, and anybody who's standing within the range of that mist who's on your team will heal. So it's essentially the opposite of a Dioxis grenade. Instead of it creating an area of effect that drains health, it's an area of effect that boosts health. And it's actually relatively easy to get, to be honest. Once you get it in the first place, then I think the main thing on the next time is just to use it a lot. And once you've healed X number of other players, it unlocks, or something similar to that. I'll tell you what, I'll look at the contract since I'm talking about it. I want to make sure I'm actually not completely wrong. So Medic is 5,000 objective score. That gets you the first back-to-bomb, the initial version of it, right? And that's 5,000 objective score cumulatively. It's not all in one match. That would be insane. Let's see. And then Medic 2 is going to get you the upgraded version, but you got to do Medic 1 first. And this one, heal 50 team members, use 20 personal shields. I would highly recommend, if you're working on Medic 1, probably Drop Zone. That's what I found was a good one to build up objective score. Probably not Extraction for that, so you're probably going to want to jump out of Outer Rim to do it. Medic 2, I would jump into Outer Rim, because if you're using the personal shield charges, when you're playing Extraction, that helps you get over and activate and deactivate the little cargo cart thing. And if you do that as second nature playing that anyway, personal shield becomes very valuable in that sense. And it becomes relatively easy to get Medic, because you can just keep dropping the back-to-bombs over and over again. There's no negative effect on anybody. That is cool. That is cool. Very cool to see like the collaboration, because it feels like that a lot of times that's the Donald Trump thing, right? You know, the American spirit is you do everything on your own and screw anybody else. Yeah, that's not really how humans work, right? Work together. And then, okay. So, the plan at this point is I will probably do another stream at some point. It'll probably be next week, more than likely. Today is, Wednesday. I might be able to do one on Friday. It's really going to be tight because it's the last day for my students to work on their online courses, and I got a feeling that this little window where they're usually just getting home and eating, where things slow down a lot, may not be as slow, and I probably won't know until that day. As to tomorrow, this time of day is when Michael and I will be recording for Cloud City Casino, talking about some of those topics that were brought up before. So, in that sense, gives us a chance to get into this again. To answer the last question, and then I'll give my sort of sign-off information here. Matthew, the Season Pass, so far, I think the Season Pass, at least the DLC was worth it. I think the Season Pass, sorry, I'm making sure that I'm, got a final exam to unlock here. There we go. The Season Pass, to me, I think is worth it because it lowers the cost of each individual DLC, right? And are the DLCs worth it? For Outer Rim, I would say yes. I think that... Now, granted, they sort of wrap things up. You had the Outer Rim DLC and a big game update in general hitting at the same time. So you have to kind of parse out what's the paid stuff and what's the other stuff. And that's going to kind of depend. So I think it's worth it so far. If you're going to get the DLC at all, you might as well get the Season Pass and get, you know, the discount on it. But beyond that, it's just kind of a personal thing. Basically, all you're getting right now with the DLC is you're getting access to these modes for Outer Rim Extraction, Cargo, Droid Run, Heroes vs. Villains, and Blast with their Outer Rim player counts, which tend to be 16 as opposed to 12. And you get access to the Outer Rim maps that are only available through the Outer Rim stuff. So you can either go here and jump into the playlist, or you can go down here and jump in. The other stuff that they released at the same time, like changing the balance of things, changing Hero Hunt, setting up the new menu system here, that's not DLC related, so that's all part of the free update. I think it's worth it. I think Bespin will be worthwhile because it'll have some bigger maps again for the bigger game modes, and Lando and Dengar, plus apparently something else to let us play some more Fighter Squadron. And we don't have a lot of details yet about Death Star or Expansion Pack 4, so we shall see as we go along. But all right, so I'm going to take off. If you're curious about the Star Wars Timeline Gold, the most comprehensive Star Wars chronology available anywhere that I've been maintaining since 1997, you can find that, yes, half my life. You can find that over at StarWarsFanWorks.com/timeline. If you're interested in listening to any of the podcasts that I'm involved with, me and Mark Hurlman do Star Wars Beyond the Films, and me and Michael Morris do Cloud City Casino. Star Wars Beyond the Films is about canon and legends of Star Wars stories beyond the films. Cloud City Casino is gaming and a little bit of collecting. Both can be found at StarWarsReport.com. My vlog and From the Star Wars Home Video Library and such are all on this YouTube channel. I usually would say a guide to Disney Infinity for Star Wars fans is on here, and it is, but now that Disney Infinity is dying, I guess that's not much of a selling point for the channel anymore. But we're doing a little bit more of this. My guess is, like I said, Friday, maybe, just kind of depends. Definitely not Thursday, because we're going to be recording this time on Thursday. This weekend, my wife is off, so unless she's off doing something with her family or something, I'd rather spend time with her. No offense to anyone out there watching the stream, of course. So probably next week. In fact, next week, things will be a lot calmer schedule-wise, should be. So I may actually have a chance to do more streaming and vary the times of day next time around. If you subscribe to the channel, or you drop some comments on this video once it processes and shows up as a regular video on the channel, I could try to, if you ask, like, hey, when are you doing the next one? Like, as I know, I might be able to answer that way. Or if you jump on and get on Facebook and like either the page for the Star Wars Timeline Gold, which is Facebook.com/SW Timeline Gold, or Star Wars Beyond the Films, SW Beyond Films, Facebook.com/SW Beyond Films, or Cloud City Casino, which I believe is just Facebook.com/Cloud City Casino. Any of those, I will try once I know a time for my next stream to say, hey, I'm going to be streaming on this day at this time, and that way you can kind of get notice. I tend to hop on with very little notice because I don't know what my day is going to look like, but usually it's around this time of day, usually on a weekday, but that's about all I can say for certain. Anyway, that's a lot of babble to say thank you for watching. I hope you get a chance to check out another one of these. I appreciate you coming, especially the new folks who have gotten in here for the first time. That was awesome. Great to see you here, and hopefully we'll be able to chat again next time we do a stream. Thanks all.